Shit. Hey guys, I'm Sai and welcome to A.C.E Podcast Nation, the home of Keepin It Real, which is our wrestling series. Gonna round up the week of wrestling in about 45 minutes. We're gonna shoot all over the place, and if you haven't already, subscribe to youtube.com/A.C.E Podcast Nation and subscribe to youtube.com Andrew Thompson interviews, as well as check out the audio versions of all the usual podcast and radio platforms. But with no further ado, joining me as usual is post-wrestling's writer and interviewer, Mr. Andrew Thompson. Welcome, my friend.
What's good, Si? I will be defeating Wei Ting in the Survivor Series games on post-wrestling in a couple weeks. Everybody, make sure to tune into that. I will be victorious, and I will not be defeated. They called me a paper champion after the last game show. Disrespectful, and they trying to start up a rivalry between me and Wei will lose.
Rude. Paper champion. Never heard. You got to bring it home now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bring home the win. There's obviously we didn't do one last week, so we got lots and lots of crazy stuff to talk about from the wrestling world. But let's start with the Undertaker. Is the WWE sent out a press release. I saw Alex McCarthy say earlier that Survivor Series is going to be his final farewell. Again, look, if that, no, it won't be that disrespectful. I was going to call him something then. Look, he's a legend of the wrestling that we all love it. We've all grown up on it. We love it. Undertaker is he's the GOAT. He's the true legend of the game. But if he doesn't put the Fiend over a Survivor Series, then he can get the fuck out of here, because he should have put him out at WrestleMania, should have put him over at WrestleMania, and he didn't. So if he doesn't do it for his final appearance, he's dead to me. No pun intended.
Jesus, what the fuck, son? No. Can't you be saying stuff like that?
No, he's not wishing death on the man, just saying he's dead to me. He is the dead man, after all.
That was bad.
Come on.
That was bad. I'm sorry.
Didn't wish the man any harm. I can't abide him doing it again.
I can't give you no problems on that one, bro. You gotta take that L. Just take the L. Yeah. Just take the L, bro.
After you've been stealing my ideas for the last Lord knows how months, it's about time I had to take one, I suppose. But he should put someone over.
No.
At that last show, he should.
No.
Because he
doesn't need to wrestle. Don't make it.
No. I'd be happy if he comes out, cuts a promo, says thank you, and then right at the end, the Fiend appears and just puts the mandible claw on him.
But you gotta let this go.
That's it. No, mate. He's got all right. Not even the Fiend. Just someone.
But
he's only put Brock Lesnar over. Like,
honestly. Just let the man come out, let him give his speech, and then let him go home. Like don't something.
He's got to put someone else.
Other
than Brock.
He gonna do something. All right, one of the job guys gonna take a tombstone.
Yeah, probably. That's very true. One of the young and up and comers.
Ricochet. It's gonna be Ricochet.
Yeah. That'll be it. Yeah.
Slapjack. My bad. Not Ricochet.
Yeah, see, it will be Slap. Yeah, it probably will be, actually. Retribution will come out and he'll beat all 20 of them up on his own. Jesus.
No, you want to know what's funny, though? Like, how likely that seems. Like, it doesn't even seem like something that's crazy.
I promised myself that I wasn't going to get upset about Retribution this week, because they've done exactly what I said they would do, which was beat them in nothing matches for no reason. And
did you hear Mustafa Ali's interview after the bell?
In the fridge. Say again, sorry mate, I missed that. My son was decided to speak to me.
The young side. What's going on, Salt? What's going on, big man?
He wants to know where the dip is for the crisp priorities.
But I was gonna ask, like, did you hear Mustafa Ali's interview on After the Bell?
I haven't, but I saw a couple of clips of it,
But they
and
they they edited the hell out of his interview. Like they cut him off when he was like really about to go in on WWE on some of them points. You could just tell, like, just from hearing interviews, like they edited it
yeah,
so bad, like not badly, but I mean, like, you could tell, like,
yeah,
at
they
some
had
points,
took
like,
out big bits of it.
yeah, he was about, like, it was at some points he was about to go in, and then, like, you could tell they just cut him off, like, because it was at one point he talked about how he felt they left so much meat on the table with the storylines with him, Kofi, the thing with Randy. It could have been something with Brock because Brock cost the Money in the Bank. Kofi took his spot at Mania, or the one that injured him. But yeah, he was like, he basically felt like they left so much meat on the table, and it could have been so much that they could have done with him, and instead of that, they just brought him back, and he was doing nothing, basically sitting
Yeah,
backstage, and he was like, and they cut him off at the part when he was like he know that he was about to go on to beat uh five of the people in the elimination chamber at the SmackDown, and then yeah, basically they just cut him off after he went on that tangent, and then it looked like he was about to say some more stuff, and they just shut him off. And then it was another part when he talked about 205 Live, and he felt like right, like in 2018 when they had the whole restart of 205 Live
yeah,
after Enzo left, he felt like Rey Mysterio should have been brought onto the brand and been like the face of it, and then
yeah,
like they basically ride his back in his stardom until everybody else got over, and basically used Ray as like the facelift for 205 Live, and he was like, it just like he was just like, he never understood how, like, they would have these dark matches right after SmackDown, and it would be like John Cena versus Randy Orton, and then they expect him and Arya Daivari to go out there and keep the crowd. Like, they just saw
yeah,
Orton and Cena. Like, why would they care to stick around?
yeah. And of course, and the other thing is as well with that, in about that period, sort of late 2018, early 2019. Uh, 205 Live was putting on some absolute cracking TV, some
Oh
great
yeah,
matches, but they just didn't have the name power to attract people into it. So what you needed to go with those bangers was to bring in some big names like
a
Rey
big name.
Mysterio, because when then people would have watched it for Rey Mysterio, they would have seen these incredible matches week in, week out, and some good storylines as well. And they just, but it's what they always do, mate. Like Retribution, I said to you, what, 3 weeks ago? I said the masks didn't bother me because I felt like, number one, it was unique. It's
Oh, I,
different to everything else. I would have preferred them not to have the masks
I got, I
because I
got,
think
I
it's
got something to tell you.
stupid.
I got something to tell you on that too after you finish.
But then so I also didn't mind the masks because they had the similar shape to Mustafa Ali's mask. So that was like, I felt like that was a little bit of an Easter egg ahead of time that he was involved. Um, and then thirdly, it was, well, regardless of what they looked like, it was how they booked them. They've had them lose on Raw to the Hurt Business a couple of times. I haven't got a problem with them losing to the Hurt Business, but like it's the way you do it. And you had Dijakovic tap out, then you had Slapjack pretty much get squashed, and it's like they're never going to mean anything if they continually lose. If you don't want the Hurt Business to lose to them, don't put them in a match with them. You write the storylines, put them in matches and feuds with people they can beat for the time being, build them up so there's something, and then they can lose to the Hurt Business down the road. But if you're not going to have them go over, then don't put them in these matches. You write the fucking show. It infuriates me, mate. It really, really infuriates me. Go on, say what you're going to say.
And I was about to say, Ali actually explained, like, the thing behind Retribution and why they're all in masks and stuff like that, and like the explanation made complete sense. And I'm just sitting there like, and Ali even said it. He was like, well, y'all would understand if they let me say it on TV. Like, he basically said that the reason he put masks on them is so they can realize what he went through early in his career with people judging him without even knowing anything about him. So all they see
Yeah,
is people in these masks, you don't know anything about them, yet you're talking about how they buried and all this other stuff and how they this and that. You don't know a goddamn thing. Like,
See, that's so clever, mate. That is.
and he was just like, I went through that early in my career. People try
He
to
went through
like,
that on Twitter this
yeah,
week. Did you
exactly.
see that
Yeah,
tweet where
yeah, I saw it.
he
I saw
said
it.
about someone said about he said they can't even get my name right or something like that. I forget the exact wording of it, and some jabroni tweeted him and said, "Oh, this is America." Blah 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 blah. Blah. Fuck off.
But
And
I was just like, how does he not be allowed to say that on TV? Like, that's like the most
but
perfect
this is it, mate.
explanation.
Yeah,
It's
this is it. If he could say the stuff that he said in that interview, if all of them could be like they are on Twitter, they would all be 10 times more over. I still
like
don't think
you
don't think they're dead, mate. I really don't. But they've got to do something with them, which involves winning
like you wanna know what's crazy? Like
quickly.
he legit explained every single last person in that group's point of view of why they joined Retribution in like 5 minutes, and it made so much sense, dog. I was like, why is this not on TV? Like he was talking about how Dijakovic got choked out by Keith Lee. I mean, got choked out by Karrion Kross, and then Keith Lee basically left him the thing because Keith Lee went up to the main roster. He was talking about how Shane Thorne been in WWE developmental for the longest, never got a real shake in NXT unless it was a tag team. He just been floundering ever since. Talked about how Mia Yim got pulled from the Takeover show and never got
Yeah.
her big moment with the rest of the women, and at the Survivor Series that next night she never got her big moment. And like he was talking about how Dio Madden was doing great on commentary, and then Brock Lesnar took him out, and he just disappeared, never got a chance to come back or do a storyline or make a
Yeah.
Rumble appearance.
It's incredible, mate.
Dog, Ali broke all that down, dude. And I was like, why is this not on TV?
The
I'm like,
least they
this
could
is
do is
like,
put it on their YouTube channels and promote it as like promote little clips of him saying all that stuff.
shit. If they want to be lazy, just take the interview and put it
Put it on TV. But like they could, couldn't they? They could get clips from it and they could post it to the Retribution's social media. They could
bro,
post
because
it to
he literally explained everything, and I'm like,
doing their job for them. And
I'm
it's,
like,
like
how is
here's
this?
the question for you then, mate. And I've seen Sean Ross Sapp say this a lot on some of his shows. He says that Raw needs someone whose only job is to tie storylines together each week, and for things to make their job is to make things make sense. So if a storyline is going to be dropped, then there's a reason why it's dropped. If there's a feud going on and they've had past actions, it's their job to tie all the logic up. Do you think someone like that would make a difference, or do you ultimately think it won't matter because Vince would either A, get bored with it, or B, overrule it anyway and say, wrestling fans don't need sense?
No, I mean, I think it could help, but I mean, at the end of the day, like I think we got to get over this whole idea that anybody else has the final word or can convince
Of
Vince to
course.
change. Like it's just no way
It's
at this
Vince,
point.
isn't
Like this is his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end
Yeah.
of the day,
And he's riding it
he-
to the bottom of the sea.
he get the hey, nah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Look, I'm interested in that Netflix documentary they doing on him.
Yeah.
I
They got to do it now, mate, if they want him involved, because he's not getting any younger.
what you mean?
But, like,
I think they been filming this.
Do you?
I think they like. Come on now,
Which
you
that'll
like,
be interesting if he's
no,
being filmed at the moment with all
no,
these terrible
no.
ratings.
No, I mean, like seriously, like, do you think they would announce this just randomly? Like, do you not think they would have been filming? I really think that.
Yeah, I would have thought so. But then,
I think they've been filming this for like I would say at least like 3 years now. Like,
do you
but
reckon that long?
yeah, I mean, cause like, why would you just like randomly announce this at the back end of this man's life? Like, I don't think that's smart.
Yeah.
Like, I think you need to. I think they should have been getting clips,
Doing
been
this.
doing interviews. Like, cause and it's crazy.
The
because
WWE films a lot of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
For the last 15, 20 years, they've always
pretty
filmed a lot of
sure.
stuff.
I'm pretty sure during that Undertaker documentary that he was in when he was sitting down, I'm pretty sure that was probably when they filmed some of that content for the Undertaker, was when they was recording for this Netflix documentary. Like, and they probably just clipped the part that he talked about the Undertaker and then put it in Undertaker's doc. I'm pretty sure that sit down right there was probably for that documentary. Like, I would be highly surprised if it wasn't. But I'm interested to see if they're gonna talk about, Chris Benoit and
Owen
Hart and
Vince
shit
McMahon.
like that. Like, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with that.
I saw, who was it? Gorilla Position, who is a UK based. It used to be a podcast a long time ago, just a podcast on Talk Sport. But then they've got like a film company and stuff, and they've got a big in with WWE, as have a lot of the UK companies. They actually filmed a documentary about Charlotte and the women's, which came out last year, which was actually very good. I forget what I think it's Starstruck Media is what they're owned by. But they said, I'm just finding the tweet now, earlier this week, because they were saying about, so like they've had Lillian Garcia on this week, so like you can see straight away they've got the links to it. So yeah, it says let's have a look. I do apologise, I should have got this tweet up beforehand. But it was to do with it. I know it is unprofessional, but it's alright because I'll edit it out so it looks like I had it ready. I can't find it now. But there was something about the people who made the basketball documentary. Here you go.
You talking about wait. You talking about when Lily Garcia said that they making a documentary on Stone Cold?
Yeah.
She said that when she was getting interviewed by Chris Van Vliet.
Right. Okay. I saw it on the Gorilla Position page. Yeah. So the people who made that, didn't they make like a big basketball documentary?
Yeah, they made The Last Dance.
That's Jordan. The one, Last Dance. I kept thinking Basketball Diaries because I saw a trailer for that film earlier. Can you believe I've never seen that film?
Jesus.
I gotta watch it tonight. Actually, though.
Damn UK Indian. I don't even know the plural noun. UKian.
UKian. I'm a Welshman.
Welshman.
Don't forget it.
Hey, so I wanted to ask you, like, what do you? So, I know you. I know me and you. I think last time we talked about it, we talked about Tegan Nox tearing her ACL again. Like, when she comes back, like, what do you think is left? Like, do you think she should transition to like a producer agent role? Because I don't think WWE just gonna let her sit there. I think they probably gonna do something with her, like let her be a trainer or something.
She should go to NXT UK and have a go at commentary, and if she's good at it, she can always move over to the US NXT. Because look, I know
it's a third one. Bro.
I know a thing or two about ACLs and knees, not just from personal experience, but also from like friends who are footballers and stuff. And one is bad. Two is kind of you're very lucky to come back if you've got like a physical job, like a footballer or an athlete, a wrestler. To have a third one, I was speaking to Andy off air about it, and I asked him about it because he had a knee injury which finished his career, and he said he doesn't think she'd be able to come back. However, when he finished his career was 10 years ago. Things have changed, and America's in terms of knee surgery is like the top of the field, but WWE is going to have the very top surgeons, isn't it, as well?
Of course.
But like a third one, I just think is going to be too much for her.
I would say two ACL tears on the same knee, bro.
Yeah, like she's very charismatic though, mate. And I know that the UK accent doesn't always get over in America, but it's a different. I think the Welsh accent gets over everywhere. First of all, and second of all, I think she's really charismatic. People really like her. And also now people feel, I know it sounds bad, but people do feel sorry for her as well, because she's clearly very, very talented. So I think I'd be inclined to, when she's fit, and she's not, I don't mean like as soon as she's had surgery, wheel her out and get her on commentary, but like as soon as she's walking with a boot or whatever, there's no reason why she couldn't maybe have a little go at commentary here and there for a match or two. See how she gets on.
Maybe she get like the Samoa Joe treatment. Like I feel like they kind of waiting for that perfect spot to bring Joe back, even though I think he is probably good to go. Like they just wait on that perfect spot. Maybe Tegan Nox can do that same thing.
I'm gonna ask you about Samoa Joe. He's on my list of things because I think they're waiting for the perfect spot for him to basically come back and flip out. Do you think? Because he's on SmackDown, isn't he?
No, you're Raw.
Raw, no. So, SmackDown has been excellent, by the way, recently. And I'm devastated that The Fiend and a couple of other people...
I'm telling you, bro, these 2 hour shows do it for me. The 2 hour shows do it for me.
I promise you this now. If it wasn't for probably Retribution, the Hurt Business, and the Fiend and Alexa Bliss,
What the fuck is Oscar?
and Drew McIntyre, I wouldn't watch Raw. Like, I only watch Raw at the moment for the Fiend and Retribution, and I like the Hurt Business. I like Rick. I wish they would do something with Ricochet. They just won't. They're just stupid. And he will go. So he will go to New Japan, or he will go to AEW, and he will become a superstar. And they will come crawling back, offering him big money. And I hope he tells them to get fucked.
You mentioned New Japan. I know we jumping around like we always do.
Yeah, we always do, bro.
But like, did you see the people that got announced for the Super J Cup this year?
I did, yeah.
Man, they got ACH, Leo Rush, Chris
I thought
Bay.
ACH retired.
He came
from
back.
Wrestling.
Came back.
Yeah, that Super J lineup is.
They got ACH, Chris Bay, Leo Rush. They got it, and then
Leo Rush,
did you see the people that MLW got for the restart, bro? They
I haven't seen that, no, and I was interested by that because
they've
lost so many guys.
They done more than TJP, and I know they still got Marvin Reed. They got Leo Rush. They got ACH. They got a bunch of people.
David Boyce Smith as well, haven't they? At the moment,
I ain't talking about him.
I think his contract.
He canceled on my list.
So that's a shame because I was going to ask you a question about him.
You ain't see his tweet?
I haven't seen his tweet. I don't follow many wrestlers, mate. So
he voiced his open support for Mr. Trump a couple weeks ago.
Jesus Christ! I've seen
with a face mask.
Who would have known so many wrestlers love Trump?
Oh yeah, I knew that. Like I knew that. Like come on, this is a predominantly white field, bro. Like come on.
Yeah,
now.
But what I've been surprised at is how many have kind of come out.
Especially Chris Jericho.
Mate, I cannot believe that tweet is still up there. I gotta say, Jesus.
But anyway. you want to know who surprised me legitimately out of everybody? Hangman Page. Because I like, if anybody, I would have thought he would have been one because the part of Virginia he's from like a very conservative, like deep part of Virginia. Like I thought he would have been the main one that probably would, but he's like a bad supporter. I was like, what the hell? Hangman Page from Aaron's Creek, fucking Virginia. Like what? But I mean, hey, that just goes
I just think he's a cool guy, mate.
That's what I just think he's just not a dumbass. That's what it is.
I think he's just one of those people who is just nice and just wants to get along with everyone. You know, I might be wrong, and maybe some stories will come out. And
hopefully not. I like Hangman.
Yeah, I hope so. I love Hangman. But what I was going to ask you about David Boy Smith is I know, or I was told that his contract is up shortly with. Or he's going to be a free agent basically after Christmas. Do you think WWE has another swing with him? They should, on paper.
I'll let you take the reins on that one.
Yeah, well, I just think on paper they should because, you know, with the lineage and all this sort of thing, he's got the look which they like, and I think he's shown over the last few years that he can actually work as well. It was a bit confusing that they let him go, but we'll leave that there. We're going to get to our Full Gear predictions in a sec. But tell me, like, Newcastle, fuck off, Simon. SmackDown has been very, very good in recent weeks. Raw has had good bits, but it's been generally not great. It just doesn't make sense half the time. Let's talk about something which I love to talk about. What have you made of the Fiend and Alexa Bliss since they've come to Raw? What have you thought of their usage?
I like it, bro. I like the Fiend and Alexa Bliss. I feel like they haven't, like, it looks like they having fun. Honestly, that's what it seems like. Saying that they having a good time. So I'm good for him. I'm glad to see the Fiend like finally doing something important again. And it looked like he is about to be challenging Orton for the title at TLC or at the Royal Rumble.
I think they'll do a 3-way. I do. Because I don't think they want to beat the Fiend, which is ridiculous. Why put him in the feud? Like, why not just have Randy beat? What they should have done, in my opinion, is at the end of Hell in a Cell, is have Drew win, and then have the Fiend come out and start the feud with Randy Orton at the end of Hell in a Cell. Whether you have him drag him under the ring or, you know, whatever shit you do, and then just done it that way, so you keep the Fiend away from the title. I gotta say that The Firefly Funhouse game on the Fiend has been on point these last couple of weeks. It's been on fire, mate. The like the Easter eggs and the little hidden messages. And I said to you, didn't I, when they showed that staff thing, the crucifix or whatever the WWE calls it, stupid name. And I said to you that he's going to go after Randy Orton.
You didn't say that.
I did, man. Then you stole it on Twitter. This is what you do. But Alexa, do you think Alexa's going to have a mask? Do you think that's what they hinted at with that thing coming out of her mouth and then the eyes when she was speaking to Nikki Cross? Do you think we see not maybe a Survivor Series, her versus Nikki Cross, and she comes out with some sort of mask?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Did you hear they remade her theme song? They remixed their theme song.
Have you heard it? I heard it about a week ago, and it's been on YouTube for a while.
They remixed their theme song to make it more like fiendish. I guess that's the right word. Yeah, and
it's actually got parts of. It's a mixture of her theme.
Yeah. And
Bray Wyatt's theme and Bray Wyatt's Fiend theme. It's very good. And then they didn't use it though. Then when she came out.
No, because I think they're trying to save it. Like they ain't trying to like.
But they had used it the week before on the Moment of Bliss segment.
But I would have done the same thing. I think that was just like a teaser type thing. Like the shit was on for like 5 seconds. Like I think they was just wanted to see how it, like if people caught it or how it sounded, and like I'm assuming they probably got some big entrance plan for her, you know, for the reboot of the character. And I don't think they want to just just put that shit on TV like randomly, you know.
Yeah. Do you think she's gonna kill like Nikki Cross in like a few minutes? That seems to be the obvious. That's not the only way.
I mean, Nikki Cross ain't doing nothing anyway. But how many SmackDown Women's title matches Nikki Cross and lost in the past 2 years? Like
she was hot as well for a while.
She was. She really was. She really was. But it just wasn't her time.
Speaking of the WWE not knowing how to book baby faces, apparently Lana is getting a push. And that's why they put her through the table 6 weeks in a row, because every time
that's what
she goes through a table, she's getting more over.
Oh,
apparently.
yo, Sai, oh my goodness, I know because you just mentioned Lana. I'm sorry, I mean, everybody who listens to this podcast, y'all know we jump around anyway. You get over it, but Miro was on Talking Jericho, right? This dude said that Paul Heyman called him about the marriage storyline with Liv Morgan and Bobby Lashley and Lana, right? Miro said that when he asked Heyman before, if I come back, where the hell is this storyline going?
Yeah.
Paul Heyman told this man, main event of WrestleMania if you come back. I was like, bro, and you fell for that shit.
Jesus Christ, you believed him.
Yeah, like you believe that shit.
Fucking hell. Hey, it's unbelievable.
But hey, I was like, hey, credit to Paul Heyman, man. That's how you get somebody back.
Yeah. He knows how to lie.
I was like, nah, A.C.E, when I heard that, I couldn't even be mad, bro. I was like, that's fair play. Hey, you fell for it. You fell for it.
I got to 1,000 subscribers as well. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
On YouTube's.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
Like I know, like 1,000 is not very much, and it's
that's much.
But like to me, like when you've built something up from nothing, and just like it was an idea, and then you get it, and that's the first kind of goal that you set yourself, in it when you set up a YouTube channel.
You did it, bro. You did
Couldn't have done it without people like yourself, mate.
Nah, man, that's all you, man.
Jumping on.
No, man, don't pass the credit. This is all you, sir. You put the work in, created the channel, made the hookups. This is all you, sir. But also, before we get into Full Gear, we must do New Japan Power Struggle results, because Power Struggle predictions, because I have a big question for you that involves All Elite Wrestling that I think is going to be very interesting, sir. I have the card pulled up.
Funny enough, I was going to ask you about, did you notice how Cody persistently mentioned the Ace during his promo on Wednesday at the end of the show? He said,
I ain't put too much stock into it.
But it's not the first little hint that they've said stuff like that a couple of times over the last probably month, just little things. And I think that combined with like Tanahashi was in that Jericho segment, it's on the way. But go on. Shoot your shot.
No, I was just saying I ain't really read much into it. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tanahashi showed. I think that'd be a great gift for AEW, and vice versa as well. But I'm kind of interested to see what they do with Darby Allin, because I think Darby has lost to Cody like 3 times already, bro. Like
he needs to win, really.
Are y'all gonna? It's like are they either gonna flip flop the title, or they gonna make Darby lose again? It's like they're in a weird situation.
Since Cody had the first run with the TNT title, I've been a little bit disappointed with how they've treated it, because I thought he had a really good first run for the title, and then they had the shock value of Brody Lee winning it, and I thought, give Brody Lee like a good long dominant run, and then as soon as Cody come back, they put the title back on him, and I feel like now they've almost booked themselves into a corner whereby if Brody Lee had it and he fought, fuck's sake, what's his name?
Darby.
Brody Lee could beat him and it wouldn't be too much of a problem. You could kind of do the gimmick where Darby Allin just won't stay down, and eventually Brody Lee does something extreme and keeps him down, and it wouldn't hurt Darby Allin. If anything, it could help him. Whereas now, Darby, they've booked it in where like you almost feel like Darby has to win, because if he loses to Cody again, it's gonna hurt him. And I don't like flip flopping titles. I gotta be honest.
That's what I'm saying. They in a weird situation, bro.
So go on. What are you gonna say about New Japan?
Oh, I was just talking about the predictions.
Yeah, go on then. You got the card?
Yeah, I got the card. So we got I don't know if you know, but they got the King of Pro Wrestling 2020 Championship that they got. I don't know if you heard about that. Like when it's it's like specialty matches. So they got they got Yano defending the King of Pro Wrestling trophy against Zack Sabre Jr. in a match with no corner pads, so Yano can't untie the pads. So that's quite the match. I mean, I'm interested to see how that's gonna turn out.
I hope they have Zack Sabre Jr. win, just because I feel like Zack Sabre Jr. should always win. But
and then we got Minoru Suzuki defending the Never title against.
Who do you think is going to win that? Sorry.
Yano.
You think, yeah?
Yano probably.
And then
probably pull out like some trick roll up or something like that. But we got Minoru Suzuki defending the Never title against Shingo Takagi.
That's gonna bang.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. They're gonna beat the hell out of each other. I think Shingo might beat Suzuki. I think he might.
Yeah, I think as much as I think Shingo will win.
And then we got Kazuchika Okada facing Great Khan, and Great Khan made the return at the G1, and he.
So you're gonna have to tell me, because I'm not up to date as much on New Japan. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck is Great Khan?
Great Khan, he was a young lion. What was his name when he was in New Japan? Oh yeah, Oka. He was
I know.
He went on an excursion and was in Rare Pro for a while. But Great Khan, he came back and he's in a stable with Will Ospreay. And also, I don't know if you got a chance to see, but B Priestley made an appearance on at the G1. She got involved in Will Ospreay's match and formed a stable with himself and Great Khan. So they got B Priestley from Stardom involved in New Japan. Maybe good. Bushi Road has
opened the doors.
Maybe you never know.
I'd like to think so, mate.
Yeah, I mean, they got B Priestley showing up on the damn G1, and I mean, you would think
Yeah, they're gonna start doing it.
Yeah, I think they're probably just trying to ease their way into it. But this is what I want to talk to you about the most, honestly. Like, but we get to that. Get to that at last. But we got Kodabushi versus Jay White for a singles match for the Tokyo Dome IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental title match at the Dome. So we got basically Ibushi versus Jay White. Winner goes on to the Dome to face for the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles. I think Ibushi wins. I don't think they would have Koda win the G1 just to drop it to Jay White.
Yeah, no, I think he must win. Yeah, so I think I'd be very surprised New Japan doesn't
go all the way with Ibushi.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if they don't see it all the way through to the to the Dome show, I'd be very surprised.
Right.
They are very I think they're very unlikely to build him and have him win a whole tournament
Just to
lose it at the next pay-per-view
Right.
to Jay White. Is even though they would build Jay White as a massive heel.
Exactly.
I just don't see the logic to it. I gotta be honest.
And then we got Naito defending the IWGP Heavyweight and the Continental titles against Evil. I don't think Evil's winning. I think Naito's about to retain. But only reason I'm curious is because, like, I feel like the Jay White Ibushi match is like kind of like a factor in the main event, like how the main event's gonna play out. Because I feel like they want to get some more steam behind Naito.
Yeah,
maybe they do.
I think they probably do.
And then
I think that's a fair assumption.
But I mean, this is why would you have Ibushi win the whole G1 just to drop the rights to challenge for the titles?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense. That's what I'm saying. Like it's interesting, honestly.
So just quickly going back, who do you think is going to win between Okada and Great O'Khan?
Oh, Okada.
Yeah, I thought so. And who do you think is going to win, Kenta versus Tanahashi?
No, I was saving that for last.
Oh, okay, save that one. And then Kota versus Jay White. I think Kota. You think Kota as well?
Yeah, Ibushi.
And then you got the Naito. And that's no, I think Naito as well because I can't see them.
And then they run Naito versus Ibushi at the Dome.
Yeah,
but they
doing match they can do.
But let me ask you this: they doing two nights at the Tokyo Dome again. So like, what's the like? You got to have two major main events for both nights.
Yeah, so this is it, isn't it? I mean, if they could split off.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
But then I thought they would have split off. I thought they'd have had Naito drop one
the Intercontinental title.
Even if it was just dropping the Intercontinental title by now.
He already lost the both titles to Evil already, and then he won it back.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because you'd have thought they'd have split it off so then one could main event each night.
Right, yeah. But
I mean, they could do like a double duty, like the champion could defend one on each night.
So
but you're taking a big risk then if, because they all put so much into those Tokyo Dome shows physically, and if one of them gets, like, for instance, concussion on the first night, you could lose your main event the second night if he's not fit to go.
So this is the interest. This is why I want to talk about the U.S. title match last because it factors into our predictions for Full Gear. You hearing me right now, my man? Side, you hearing me?
Always.
So look, this is what. So Kenta has the rights to challenge for the IWGP US Heavyweight title, right? He's facing Hiromu Tanahashi. So who is the current IWGP US Heavyweight champion?
Jon Moxley, isn't it?
Exactly, the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, right? So if Kenta beats Tanahashi, let's just say Kenta beats Tanahashi, right? Or Tanahashi beats Kenta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jon Moxley. I have without no question that Jon Moxley is going to drop that IWGP US Heavyweight title at some point because he cannot frequently come back into Japan and then go back to the. I just don't think it works well for AEW, right?
Yeah, because they can't do it, can they?
Now, if you're AEW, right, do you go ahead and put the title, the AEW World title, on Eddie Kingston just to be safe in case because you don't want your AEW World Champion going to New Japan as the champion and then getting beat clean.
Yeah, there's that too.
At the Tokyo Dome or wherever this match happens. Like I think AEW's in a like real weird situation because I'm pretty sure they don't want Moxley being the AEW World Champion going in. And not saying him losing to Tanahashi or Kenta is a bad thing, but I mean when you talking about the World Champion, it's like why
you don't want your World Champion
going and losing. Right, exactly. So do you think it is a safe bet that Eddie Kingston could win the AEW World title this weekend just off the strength of Moxley, the idea that Moxley like might be dropping the U.S. heavyweight title? Because I mean, I know Kenta on NJPW Sean, that's filmed in the U.S. in Cali. So I mean, it's not out of the realm to think that Kenta could,
cross over.
You never know. Or Tanahashi, because they already had Tanahashi on the program. So I was just curious about like your whole thoughts about all of that, like because that's a lot.
I think. I do think that AEW should put the title on Eddie Kingston. I think he's probably one of the hottest acts they've got at the moment. His promos are constantly, each week they're everywhere because they're so good. And I just think, yes, why not put the title on him while he's hot and do something that people don't expect. At the moment, we've only had kind of ex-WWE guys be champion. And I know, that John Moxley's different to what he was in WWE. I do wish they'd put it on MJF. I thought it was the right time to put it on MJF. But I am interested with what they're doing with him now. I just don't see them putting it on Eddie Kingston. But I kind of think they should. Because
I was going to ask you about how the New Japan stuff mix in.
There's a couple of things with the New Japan stuff. Because one, obviously you've got the aesthetic of your world champion losing clean to drop the United States Championship. But also, there's the thing where if he goes to Japan, he's got to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
There, 2 weeks back. So you're talking he's going to be out for a month at least. That's 4 weeks. So I'd say probably more like 5 weeks of no champion on TV if he's still got the world title. Of course, there's ways around it whereby you could do like video promos and stuff like that. But
you want your champion on TV?
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, it's interesting which way they'll go. I think Kenta wins the match.
Mm-hmm.
A power struggle, first and foremost. I think
because bro, the Dome is like 10 weeks away. Like
it's not far, is it? It's like, just after Christmas, isn't it?
Yes, it's like 7 days after Christmas, bro. Like it's not, bro. It is not. It's not far away at all. So that's why I'm interested to see what they're gonna do because AEW's next pay-per-view isn't until Revolution in February. So
it's a long time, isn't it? To plan stuff out. I just think with the aesthetic of having your champion lose and he
dropping another title at that.
Yeah, and he's dropping another title, and then you've got the quarantine thing, which keeps him off TV for at least a month. I kind of think if they don't have Eddie Kingston win the title tomorrow at Full Gear, they might have him lose it on TV.
Maybe.
Like a big show. Because there's a few guys you could really do something with, whether it's an Omega, a Hangman, even a Miro.
Yeah. I think Omega might be the best, the safest bet, to be honest with you.
I don't know. They've got to pull the trigger on Hangman at some point.
Yeah, Do
you know what I mean?
That's true too. That's true too.
Otherwise, you get stuck in this kind of thing where he's like the Neely man constantly. I wonder whether they may wait until the fans are back properly before they fully pull the trigger on him. Personally, though, I just think like everybody is behind Hangman and they all love him. I don't know. It's difficult. It's really difficult to predict which way they'll go. Which way do you think they will go?
Like with the New Japan stuff involved?
Yeah.
Jesus. Honestly, bro, you know what? I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna go Tanahashi wins the briefcase for the title match. Tanahashi comes to Tanahashi come. Well, no. See, this is the difficult thing because I highly doubt New Japan would ever let Tanahashi come to AEW and lose. That ain't happening. Yeah. Like if Tanahashi's going to AEW, that motherfucker's winning. Like he's winning. He's going over clean. Like clean as a whistle. Like so I couldn't see that happening. I don't think they would let that happen to Kenta either. I can't see Gato just being cool with Kenta or Tanahashi going to AEW and losing clean. I can't see that happening. It's like even though Moxley's the champion, well, I mean Moxley is the champion, so I mean like I'm like it's not like a bad thing, but I mean I just can't see that flying. Like our guys coming over to your place and
it's so tricky.
Bro, I'm telling bro, it's weird, bro. Like and then like you're not even thinking about like you could think about it from like a booker's perspective, even though we're not bookers, but like just looking at how we would want to present our people You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want your
Yeah.
guy going over there and losing. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
of course not.
it's weird. Like they're in a weird spot, man. Like I really don't know what they should do. But I mean, if Moxley is going to drop the title, if he is going to have to drop the title, then I think he should lose it to Eddie Kingston at Full Gear.
Yeah, I kind of lean towards that myself. I just wonder if, like, Eddie Kingston's fairly new, isn't he, in terms of to the AEW? Like, he's only been there a month or two, but I think he's shown his worth though, and I just think.
And then they got the story on the back burner of like Eddie Kingston kind of had Pentagon Jr. replace Phoenix because in case he beat John Moxley.
But I wonder whether they were there with that promo which they had yesterday.
Yeah,
I do wonder whether Pac is gonna turn up and cost Eddie Kingston the match.
That'd be interesting.
And that's how they kind of. But do you know, I saw an interesting thing on Facebook the other day. Is that everybody thinks that Pac is going to come back and feud with Eddie Kingston because of the Death Triangle never getting going, etc. But what if he aligned with them, all of those guys, and kind of.
It'll add more depth to the team, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you could do the power struggle of Kingston and Pat. To be honest.
Yeah, you could after a while. You could start it off where they're kind of like joint leaders and they're all alright and they could dominate for a bit, and then.
Maybe the world title could be the riff in the situation.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston being world champion could.
Yeah. What if Pac turns up tomorrow, and everyone thinks he's going to cost Eddie Kingston the title, and he actually helps him win it. That could be a real interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, it could.
Okay, to finish this off, we'll do the picks for AEW Full Gear very quickly because I'm a bit pushed for time now, mate. But just out of interest, I'll ask you when we get there. So they've got the NWA Women's World Title on the buy-in, which is Serena Deeb versus Allysin Kay. Who do you think's winning that?
Serena Deeb.
Yeah, they need to do something with this women's division. AEW does real bad, mate.
Shit, NWA getting more spotlight than
they're getting more spotlight on AEW than they do on their own show.
Yeah, bro, no, you know what's crazy, bro? Like, I really like Nyla Rose and Sheeta, but I think Serena Deeb as a K might put on a better match. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Oh, of course they will, but like to have that be your women's match on the show is kind of like.
Shit, that's a good ass match.
It's a great match, but do you not think like if you're the girls on the
and AEW roster, you what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you're bringing in women from another company to defend another company's title instead of. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's gotta be. Like,
bro, Allysin Kay had one of the best matches this year. That match at Thunder Rosa against Hard Times.
Do you think Thunder Rosa is going to WWE?
No. Because Thunder Rosa got too many side projects that she want to do. I don't think WWE's gonna let her run a whole damn promotion while she while she doing that stuff. So
yeah, the only way I could see it is if she had if she was in NXT, maybe Triple H would let her do that stuff. If she could sort of come in and out.
Didn't they pull Xia Li from her kickboxing?
Yeah, but I wonder whether that's because they didn't.
Because she didn't.
No.
Yeah,
she didn't clear it with them.
That's true. But that is true. That's a good point.
Apparently, she wasn't happy about it though. Next up, then we got is I would assume is going to be on the pre-buy-in, but it might be the opener actually.
What?
Orange Cassidy and John Silver.
Tony Khan confirmed that's opening the show.
That's a good opener. Because John Silver's been doing some great work, and Orange Cassidy's Orange Cassidy. Who do you think wins?
I think John Silver will get the win.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, I think so too.
But if you listen to some of these interviews Tony Khan did, like he really likes John Silver. Like really
everybody likes John Silver though, don't they?
But he was like he pulled John Silver into his office and like kind of like just messing with him a little bit. He was like, "I'm so mad at you. I'm so disappointed." And John Silver, like he said, John Silver broke out in like a sweat Like,
God
was
bless
like,
him.
what the hell? And Tony Khan was just like, because you keep showing all this personality on being the elite, and then when you get on TV, you don't show it. And then he said, like, once he said that, John like wiped the sweat off his forehead. Was like, yeah, that was funny.
Jesus. Remind me. I want to ask you about Alberto Del Rio and what Paige said about him in a minute. Just
Oh hell, you really want to talk about that? I don't want to talk about that, bro. That's
I'll
like,
ask you off there, but he's such a piece of shit, man. Chris Jericho versus MJF. If MJF wins, he can join the Inner Circle. Where are they going with this, my friend?
I think MJF gonna win, and he gonna blow up the Inner Circle from the inside.
Do you think he's going to blow him up, or do you think he's going to take him and they're all going to turn against Jericho? They're going to make Jericho a babyface.
I think he's going to blow him up, and then that's when I think that's how Santana and Ortiz going to split from Inner Circle, and they're going to line with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah,
I think that's how we
kick the Butcher and the Blade.
Kick the Butcher and the Blade. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Because I think that stable would be incredible then, wouldn't it?
Can you? And then that's what we get.
And the Blade and with Santana and Ortiz.
Yes, with Eddie Kingston.
Give me more of that
as the world champion. Yes.
Oh yes. So I think MJF's going to win. If they don't have MJF win, I question why they're doing the match and the feud, because he's coming off a loss to Jon Moxley, or a win, but he didn't win the title. So I would question why they did the feud if they're going to just have him lose to Jericho.
Or maybe they had Wardlow help him win.
Yeah, true. They could have Wardlow help Jericho, couldn't they? And start the Wardlow MJF feud as well.
Too early.
Yeah, I think it is as well, but it's just it's an option, isn't it? Then you've got the Elite Deletion between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara.
I think Sammy gonna win.
Yeah, I do too. I would hope so. It's time. I'm ready for this feud to be over, though. It just feels like it's gone on a bit too long, and I don't know whether obviously it's gone on longer because of the injuries, but I would like to see Sammy Guevara in a US title, TNT title, picture. I'd like to see him
and just to clarify, when you talked about the Paige Del Rio thing, the only reason I say I don't want to talk about because it seemed like a real super personal thing that she just shared, and I don't feel like that's something that like should be like dissect. But it should be discussed in a way, you know what I'm saying? But like even when I heard her say it, because you know I cover everything in my news update, you know that, and I heard that, and I was thinking about writing something on it, and I was like, I don't think I should be like, you know what I'm saying? I just ain't feel right, you know. Yeah. Transcribing that shit and like, you know what I'm saying, like putting it out, like even though she put it out there, you know, I just it ain't feel right.
I wouldn't have mentioned it if it hadn't come straight from her. It's one of those things, mate. I really feel for Paige, I gotta say.
Yeah, man.
In pretty much every way possible.
Because was she like 27, 26?
She's 26, I think. She's so young. She's had a wrestling career taken away from her. WWE's fucking with her, the one
Twitch,
thing which is helping her with her mental health. And I just think then obviously she's got where Alberto Del Rio's been arrested means that's going to be dredging up all those feelings, all those memories. Then obviously people would have asked her about it.
And she openly spoke about it.
Yeah, she spoke about it because
she
said the time's right to talk about it now.
And for those who haven't heard it, it's as bad as you think. Like, don't. Oh, yeah. It's legit as bad as you think.
Mate. It's harrowing. Then I think Sammy Guevara will win, mate. Who do you think is going to win the tournament final between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page?
Man,
so hard to call, isn't it? I think it's going to steal the show,
bro. Because I don't like, because it's like you don't want to keep having Hangman be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, is Hangman going to end up aligned with FTR in the end? Like, is that the end goal? I mean, if that's the end goal in all this, then I think it'll be fine. If he's going to end up joining FTR and Tully Blanchard, and you know, you get them together and have Hangman be the lead man in that group, I think that's fine, and Omega should win. But if not, maybe Hangman should win, bro.
It partially depends on if Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are going to go full heel, then you could have them have like a kick-ass match, like an awesome match, and Hangman look as if he's going to win, and then have Kenny Omega do something to cheat because he can't beat him fairly and win, and then go from there. But I don't know.
I'm going to predict
so
the finish.
Hard to call.
I'm predicting the finish. Buckshot lariat into the V trigger. Kenny Omega wins. I'm calling it.
Good shout, mate. Good shout. And then we got FTR versus the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks. They're winning.
They
It's no way.
Bucks and Cody
exactly. It's no way. Like only, bro. I think it works for Cody. It works for him. Like, but I don't think the Young Bucks could pull it off. Can you imagine them not challenging for the AEW World Tag Titles ever? Like, dog, they are literally putting them, mate. Bro. They're pigeonholing themselves into this stipulate. Like,
I am being very disappointed with the build for this match. I gotta say, I was so excited when FTR came in and they started teasing this feud. I was like, this is gonna be awesome, and I've just been a bit underwhelmed.
Bro, like, let me ask you this: do you think, like, I know me and you probably talked about this before? I genuinely think the winners of the first AEW Tag Title tournament should have either been the Young Bucks or Private Party, because Private Party beat the Young Bucks. So I think
when they beat the Young Bucks, they should have won the tournament.
They should have won the tournament, bro, because the Young Bucks were the most established team. They should have won. They like it should have been no reason Private Party should have lost the tournament, because they beat the best team in the tournament. They should have won the tournament. And I think if it wasn't going to be them, it should have been the Young Bucks. Like, and I get they don't want to be, it's all promotion, so we get the top, bro. You gotta leave that. Sometimes, bro, you gotta let that matter.
Do what's best for business.
You have to do exactly. You gotta do what is best for the overall show. Them being the tag team champions out of the gate, nobody would have complained about that, because that seemed like the right thing to do, was have them. Like, I understand SCU, your friends, you know what I'm saying, and they good guys and all that. Like, I love SCU tag team champions, right? But the Young Bucks should have won, or Private Party should have won. I think it, and then you could have eventually ran Private Party versus the Young Bucks back. Had Private Party lose the titles of the Young Bucks. You could have gone either way. But I mean, having Private Party beat the best team in the tournament in the opening round and then not win, it was stupid. It was stupid.
Yeah,
that was a bad move, bro. And then now they in the situation where they trying to amp up the stipulation for the match. Like, dog, AEW, like they have some solid tag teams. They really do. But like, if you just remove the Young Bucks out of that picture, that is foolish. I remember somebody made a joke. It was like, the Young Bucks lose, we're gonna see some AEW junior heavyweight tag teams
or trios or something.
But man, like I don't. If FTR wins, I'm going to be very surprised. Very surprised.
Me too.
Or maybe Nick Jackson's about to become a single star. You never know.
Well, funny enough, Matt Jackson is injured.
Yeah.
So I did. That was one thing I did wonder, is if he's got like an injury which is going to keep him out for a while. So apparently, I was just reading quickly now on Wrestling Observer Radio. Brian Alvarez said that he's got a partially torn MCL and he's got a thinning of the ACL, which is considered like a slight tear. Which potentially, if that goes, that's going out for a year straight away. So I mean, they could.
I mean, if that report is accurate and his ACL is actually thinning, then it's going to break eventually.
Yeah, it's going to go. So maybe they will have a FTR win, go with Nick as a single star, and let Matt go and rehab it properly and have surgery and stuff. I gotta say, like, it's very clear that Brian Alvarez, whatever you think of Brian and Dave Meltzer, they're links to the Young Bucks. You know, they know them personally, don't they? I'd say they wouldn't put that information out there unless it was accurate. Just my opinion, though. But there we go. It is what it is. And lastly, I would just like to say that yet again I was right about Roman Reigns and his Samoan stable. So there we go. I was right. You were wrong. Everything is right with the world. Subscribe to youtube.com/ACE Podcast Nation. Most importantly, subscribe to Andrew Thompson interviews, because it is the bollocks. Some good wholesome wrestling content and interviews on there. Superb stuff. Spread the word about keeping it real. We try to do a show every week, but we do sometimes go every other week, depending on the young man's busy schedule. He's a busy man, making moves, hustling. He's a busy man. Work hard. I envy you, mate, just because you got a superb work ethic. Did you get that interview you were hoping to get?
I did not. I'm still, bro. I've been tracking this thing down since September, bro. Like, this man is ducking me. He is ducking me. Like, the emails have been exchanged on and off. It is ridiculous, and I'm tired of it. This was a person who was very involved in WWE for a long time. I would say.
You have to tell me who it is now when we finish.
Nah, I can't.
Come on.
I can't. Everybody know who he is though. Like, he wasn't just in WWE. He was in the Ring of Honor. He was in Lucha Underground. Like, and I think he's a world-like person. Everybody likes him. Everybody like he wasn't a world champion, but he was a really great tag team wrestler, and everybody likes him. And he was really fucking good. And he's an actor now, so
Sweet.
It's cool. So hopefully I can catch this man one of these days, because I will be sending another email in a couple of days if I don't get a follow up, because I'm tired of being ducked. I'm tired of it.
Don't take that shit. So obviously I was right about Roman Reigns.
Oh, here we go. Hey, look, hey,
which
everybody,
means that in a couple of weeks, what's his name from Lucha Underground? Del Morte, or whatever, I can't remember what his name was. Mia Del Morte is going to join the Fiend and create a super stable of monsters.
And
it here.
And this is where we end the podcast, please. You are